travel and be
The
a
Whistler
Fortnite legend.
game. I'll take it.
Get the first shot on someone, they stack away, their teammate comes up.
Get destroyed.
Can you chill with your Synthoceps, you clown?
Yo, what is going on, Guardians, and welcome back to another Destiny 2 gameplay video. So this week I did something a little out of character for me of late. I picked up a Hunter, so revisiting the Hunter subclass, specifically the Gunslinger. You may recall back in Destiny 1 there was a pretty substantial season of my Destiny 1 career where I was really committed to playing the Gunslinger. And you may even recall a particular video of my Gunslinger equipment build that focused on throwing knife and trip mine usage in Destiny 1, and that got a lot of traction, and a lot of people really enjoyed it. So I've always had a soft spot for Gunslingers since D1. So lately I've revisited it. In this video, you're going to see a lot of gameplay with some pretty clutch kills with the throwing knives, the trip mines, the supers, a handful of lights out plays, super shutdowns, things like that. And I always get asked in the comment section, what gun was that at this point? What was used in here? What gun was that? So I'll just before we get started, I'm just going to list some of the guns that are going to be featured in this video. You're going to see the Sunshot. It's the exotic energy hand cannon. Mine is masterworked. You're going to see the Frontier Justice. It is a Hawkeye high impact scout rifle, only available through the Gunsmith. You're going to see the Sommerled D shotgun. It's a Hawkeye shotgun, also only available through the Gunsmith. The stochastic variable Future War Call energy SMG. The Niflheim Frost scout rifle, which is one of the Anabray scout rifles, only attainable through the nodes, the sleeper nodes that you can acquire. It's got kill clip on it, pretty nasty. You're going to see the tractor cannon. You're going to see the DFA Nightfall hand cannon, and you're finally going to see the Ikelos energy hand cannon as well. So I'm also using the 3-shot version of the Golden Gun subclass in this video, as well as the Frosties for my exotic. I know there's a lot of different combinations you can do and things you can play with to make some fun builds with the Gunslinger. But for me personally, the way I like to play, I really like just the passive buff that you get from being really mobile. And I'm a very mobile player, so the Frosties really benefit me quite a bit. It's just always helping me out with my cooldowns, getting me ready for my next engagement. And this is really, for me, pretty reminiscent of my equipment build because I'm using the trip mines and the throwing knives pretty regularly. I try to use them in any gunfight that they're available to me. I try to use them because I know that I'm getting them cooled down faster with the use of the Frosties. So I really miss doing that equipment build. So I've really been having fun sort of reminiscing. These trip mines are doing like 160 damage when they detonate. These things are nasty. They do have a long arm time, which is something I'll get to later in the video. But I love using these trip mines. Love baiting things like power ammo. A lot of times you're getting these standoffish fights where there's power ammo in between you and an opponent, and there's a clip specifically in this video on Radiant Shores where I have this exact scenario where I peek out and I'm exchanging some shots with a couple of players. It's a 1v2, and we're fighting over the power ammo. I realize I can't win a straight up gunfight. They're both using gravitons, and I'm using a high impact scout. So I take a couple of pot shots, I weaken them, and then I dip into cover. But from cover, I'm able to throw a trip mine onto a box next to the power ammo. And so they run up thinking, haha, the guys run away, we're in a 2v1. They're going to battle each other for the power ammo, and I see it coming a mile away, so I just duck back out of the line of sight, throw that trip mine on the box so that it's pointed directly at the power ammo, and right as they run up to it, it detonates. I get the kill. Pretty slick way to get kills, baiting people with these trip mines. I always have tons of fun with trip mine kills. I really wish they could stick and you could unicorn people like you could in Destiny 1. I really do. But, good old days, right? So, also, throwing knives. I love using throwing knives. They are a blast to use. You're looking at about 118 damage to the head when you get precision damage with the throwing knives. Unfortunately, it's lower than what I'd like for it to be. But that's nothing new. We've been talking about that for a while. But they are still fun to use. I basically use them to clean up kills, to pop off a couple of hand cannon shots, or spray someone's shields down with my SMG, and then just throw the throwing knife for the quick cleanup. And then since I'm using the 3-shot Goldie subclass skill tree, that means that if I get a headshot with the throwing knife, it automatically cools down. I can use it on the next guy, and there's been a couple of clips in this video already where I'm chaining throwing knife kills because I'm getting them cooled down instantly with the headshot kills. Now, I do wish the Gunslinger could be more effective than it currently is. It's pretty underused, especially in the game types that don't have radar active, because the golden gun itself, that super requires radar in order to really get the most use out of it, because it's such a short duration that you just don't have enough time to go hunting people down. You need the radar to tell you where to look. And so not a lot of people use the golden gun in those no radar environments. You see it a lot more in quick play, but still it's just completely outclassed by Arc Striders right now. Arc Striders have such a strong presence due to all the things that you can couple with an Arc Strider to make them really, really effective. And that's why they're so popular right now. But I wish the Gunslinger was more effective. I wish it could hang on the high end of the skill gap more consistently. I'd love for players to really have a hard choice when they are going into a competitive environment and they want to play Hunter. I wish they had a harder choice as to what they were going to play. Right now, your best bet is Arc Strider. Your second best bet is Night Stalker for the passive sort of neutral game. And then lastly, you got the Gunslinger. But it may be a bit of a dark horse, but it's still effective, and you can see some pretty nasty plays in this video where I'm chaining kills together using all the things available to me between the trip mines, the throwing knives, the dodge, and resetting my cooldown on my melee by doing the dodge when I'm in close proximity with other players. So it's a little bit of a technical way to play, because you have to really keep an eye on your cooldowns, because you have to use those things so regularly in order to really shine on the Gunslinger. But once you get used to really keeping an eye on those cooldowns and knowing when they're available and knowing how to trigger the cooldowns instantly and when to do it, man, you get all those things flowing, you get in a good rhythm with those things, you can have an absolute blast playing Gunslinger. And I know that I have over the past few days. I mean, this gameplay that you're watching is basically just from the last 24 hours of playing. Some gameplay from last night and from the stream today. So hopefully you're enjoying that gameplay. Man, my desires, I want to talk a little bit about my desires for the Gunslinger. What would make it more effective specifically? I think first and foremost, super duration. Man, the Goldie super is just laughably short. It's just so laughably short. You kind of stack that up with the other roaming supers in the game, and it's dwarfed, you know? The amount of time that you have available to you to get those kills. It's completely dwarfed by the other roaming supers, unfortunately. So I'd love to see that duration lengthened. I'd love to see throwing knife damage brought up from 118 to the head. I'd like to see that up in the 135, 140 range. Something more in line with Destiny 1, where you could chain kills a lot more quickly. I mean, we just struggle with elongated gunfights in Destiny 2, and that just makes some of the gameplay so uninteresting sometimes. So anything we can do to make it faster, more dynamic, more interesting, I think that throwing knife damage being brought up is one of the things that can contribute to that change for the Destiny 2 sandbox and PvP. I would also love to see some more interesting passive buffs to the Gunslinger related to gun skill, because really, I mean, you got the name Gunslinger, and there are some perks in the skill trees that, you know, kind of have their roots in Destiny 1 that were sort of designed to be those passive gun skill buffs, but they really just, I mean, you can't even tell they're there. They may as well not be there, you know? So I'd love to see something that's just really prominent in just a passive buff to gunslingers in terms of their gun skill, something like a sprinting reload. You know, that would be really, really cool for someone who's a master of the guns, right? Gun skill, to have sprinting reload available to them. That would be really, really cool. Maybe a passive stability buff to all kinetic weapons. You know what I mean? Something like that. It's just, you know, changes up the way that you use your guns, right, on a Gunslinger. That would be cool to me. Or maybe even just something like giving them quick draw intrinsically, like Blade Dancers had. And, you know, sort of this idea that Gunslingers, they draw fast, right? Your holstered pistol, and you just whip that baby out. You're a Gunslinger. It's sort of the whole, you know, appeal of a Gunslinger. You know, I don't know. Brainstorm with me. Give me some ideas in the comment section. I want to know what you think. How would you change the Gunslinger subclass to make them more effective, more interesting, more prominent? You know, I would love to see your thoughts. Last thing I would say, even just trip mines. Let them arm much more quickly, because sometimes I throw that thing on a wall, a dude runs right past it, takes no damage, because it's like, oh, there's a guy here, I'm gonna blow up. By the time it does, the dude's gone. So sometimes, man, that can be frustrating. I want to be rewarded for throwing my grenade in the right place at the right time. I'd love for the arm time to be shorter, let them detonate more quickly. let me get my kills. Hopefully you enjoyed the gameplay, guys. Thanks for watching the video. I really do appreciate all y'all, and I appreciate your support here on the channel. Feel free to let me know what you think about the video and what you think about gunslingers and how you would change them down below. I do read the comments. Sometimes I ask myself why I do, because some people are just downright nasty. But, you know, that's neither here nor there. Please be nice to each other, be excellent, and I'll catch you in the Crucible.